Hey guys, welcome back to what will be the final episode of Eastland Saga. My first take on this, apparently my microphone decided I want to be really squeaky and scratchy, so I'm gonna take on the final boss again. Woohoo! Wasn't that fun? But now that I've actually got my mind settled from the first take, I can actually explain everything very thoroughly. And I feel that this enemy is a reference to something, but I don't know what. But anyway, the sign to whatever said that line, if you go in here, you will never come back. This is the final dungeon. You can run away from these fights, even though the boss music is playing. It's just there to fool you to think that every encounter here is a boss that you can't escape from, which they are not. All these chests in this final dungeon have elixirs in them. If you haven't prepared yourself by buying elixirs, you can get a good amount here. It is not advised to even level up here, however, since you cannot return, and you cannot use the teleporter item to actually warp out of here. So it is not advised to grind here. If you want to grind, you should go for the Great Glaciers area around the Snow Village and the wall encounter, just like I did when I leveled up my party. Or I'm not sure if I actually explained that in the episode where I actually leveled up, where I grinded at. Specifically, like, the proper area. I also took note that one of the people who played the game on Nico actually used that same grinding spot, which I didn't see coming. That's nice. I wasn't the only one who thought about that strategy. Also, the plot for this seems to be a Moriya Shrine Conspiracy at a point. Because for some reason, the last few bosses of this game just happen to be Sane, Kaneko, and then Suwako will be our final boss. But specifically, they are responsible for something. Something that caused Rainbow to take action. But I don't know what. It's still a mystery to me because Japanese language barriers. So just like Suwako is similar to Sane in the fact that she has strong magic attacks, and that she also RNGs her attacks. Wow, Rock Titan really wants the attention. It makes me wonder what their motive was, or if they were possessed by something. If they were possessed by something perchance, then I would have actually probably seen what actually possessed them. But since there is actually no possessing, then I guess that's not really the case. Alright, so Suwako has a earth attack that can damage everyone, but not for much damage. Also has a petrification spell, I would assume, for the entire party, but that won't work because we all have Final Guard. And that Suwako also has a very strong fire attack that can pretty much decimate most of your party. Oh darn, I used the wrong move for Tenchi. I used a repeal. Wow, nice to see like that. That right there. 900 damage. That was pretty intense. And also, Nidori isn't going to be help much situation. Even though Nidori isn't going to be much help, she is going to be the person who's going to be just throwing items when it comes to it. So we don't really need to do that right now. So Nidori, you can attack. So far, you're only using single target attacks, which I'm kind of relieved for. The last take, about 1/3 of Suako's turns was using the Petrification spell, which would fail miserably because Petrification. I mean, Final Guard. Yeah, Final Guard. Also, I realized during the fight is that the game doesn't register enemies' attacks on allies that were just recently revived before the enemy attacks, for some reason. That is a very strange loophole I discovered. I don't know why that's a thing that this game left in the open, but it's fairly useful, perchance, though. Alright, need to... We're also... Darn it, Tenshi. Yeah, it's just hit... Suako, I just want you to hit the people who will actually survive the blows. Also, I realized that this screen here is also is where you can see what buffs you have on your party or the party member and how long they last. I actually had no idea what that was for like majority of the game. I thought it was like, hey, this is the enemies the enemy's status ailments on right there and right there. But it's not the case though. Elixir it up. See, Petrification spell. If I could just get as lucky as have Suako do as much of that Petrification spell as possible, I'll be smooth sailing through this final boss fight. Because again, like Sane, she's practically RNG. There is no specific turn order for what the boss will do next. So you just kind of hope and pray that your RNG chances are pretty good that you'll actually beat the boss. Or something like that. Earthquake. Also, note, to compensate for Remu's low-budget group healing, you also might want to have Byakuran leveled up. And also... have Byakuran group healing as well to compensate. Weird, I thought I heard like something weird outside. Probably just me. I forgot, Mailing, how much do you heal actually if you're overhealed? Like, I have no idea. I have to remind myself. Oh, like 100? Like, that wasn't much, but okay. Well, meter is down, I think. Yep. Weak earthquake, kind of weak earthquake. I think Alice just died, yep. Ouchies. Yep, that's the move I was talking about right there. The one that actually hurts like a son of a gun. Okay. Either the party's not affected by attacks as soon as they're revived, or that was just single target. See, you weren't actually playing fair that time, actually. Sulaco was actually being pretty serious that time. The first times were actually Sulaco was just like kind of pitting me with single regular hits, just like Bone Tyrant Resurrection. So I'll go ahead and speed this up when I actually get to editing again. Since we all know what the boss is going to do, I probably may speed that process up a little. I think the first take I took about the recording was about 45 minutes. So if I can get lucky off RNG, I can make this less. Waste less time. And there we go. And Sulaco probably died. Not sure about Sana or Kaneko. But yay, this took shorter than the first take, which took 45 minutes. So, Romelia, we're here to report that we kicked everyone in the Moriya Shrines in the Tukis. Sawako is dead, and the Moriya Shrine's faith has probably gone down the toilet. Hey, Yukari. See, you're up and well again. Hey, Alice. The guy had hinted that there's probably like a Reimu Alice OTP going on here. I can't really tell because Japanese language barrier. Reimu, I know Alice is just shouted her name right there. And that she said Reimu said Alice's name, and Alice said Reimu's name again. And Reimu teleported to somewhere else, which I don't know what is, since this is not a map of any place familiar into the game. And hey, Marissa, what's up? And Alice is here for some reason. I don't understand what's going on. And thus Alice proclaimed her love to Reimu. Because this artist, this art creator wanted to have a Reimu Alice Sparrow. Well, yeah, that's Eastland Saga. Eastland Saga, NES, a Toho fan game that is an RPG and uses NES graphical elements. I have to say there's some things I like about this game and some things that I question. Not really kind of complain about, but question. I like about this game is the NES aesthetics. Though I've played quite a few NES games in my time, I've not really finished any of them. But I always found the NES was always kind of charming in some way. And Isla Saga actually has a bunch of references in the game, aside from the ones I detected, like the Final Fantasies. Right, yeah, like for example, Enchant Blade or Enchant Shield, which are Byakuran spells, are a reference to Romancing Saga. And they also have items in reference to Ragnarok, that one RPG game. The MMORPG? The DS one, perhaps, that I recorded a boss theme for. Gosh, I have not, gone back to that game. I haven't. So, if I wanted to, I'd have to start over. In Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior. You can find there's a Eastland Japanese wiki that should have all the references there. Google Translate, baby! It may not be precise, but it's close enough. What I have to say about this game, some things that I question about this game, for example, is that some characters, for example, Nidori, her strength doesn't go up when you allocate her points of strength. It can only be raised through dexterity, which I'm not sure why dexterity for Nidori has to be proven by strength to be proved by dexterity. Because boosting her dexterity actually boosted her attack and magic attack and something else that I don't recall off the top of my head. And when meleeing boosts 1 point to strength in her allocation, she actually gets 2 points of strength. So, Some characters have a unique way of boosting their allocation stats, while others kind of are the same. Some things I also question about, like Reimu. Like, no, not specifically Reimu, but the idea of why Reimu's magic attack for her party heal was kind of poopy. And that Reimu learns another party heal later on, which is practically weaker than the first party heal she already had. It should be stronger. I don't understand why, but that's how that went out. So Sanctuary was practically useless. Party heal was pretty garbage, but you still kind of had to use it anyway. Oh my gosh. You. What are you walking over to me for? Anyway, Overheal was pretty much only the best thing you could use for Reimu, because if you got her magic attack high enough, it would almost be practically a full heal. And I also want to say about why magic defense can only be raised through armors and accessories. Most RPG games I have known have a magic defense stat that's also raised by leveling up and allocations. But having it only through armor and accessories is kind of strange. Which kind of tipped me off for bosses that deal like a crap ton of damage to you with magic attacks that almost nearly killed everybody. Like Saga, but then again she was the final boss. And then Reimu kind of Byakuran as well. Reimu had a spell that's basically the equivalent to Final Fantasy's Shelga for reducing magic damage. I don't know why she didn't have one for buffing everyone's physical defense. There just seem things out of place, like Reimu should be missing spells that correlates to the one she already has. Like, say I'm thinking of making someone be a white mage, for example. They should have all the healing possible, and that they should also have something like a regain, perchance, which Reimu doesn't have. Sure, Byakuran has Holy. If she also has Dark Power. Byakuran is just basically kind of Reimu and Alice, just with her Dark attribute spells. If I could phrase that correctly. And walking onto the bed and sleep.
Hey, this guy stopped moving for a few seconds.
What I also want to say is that... What was I going to say? Darn, my memory faded on me. Darn brain farting. Alright. The one thing I also was questioning is that if you meet a specific requirement, if you meet a specific boss that has a certain amount of health that you can tell, and you've died various times to it, you can tell that the bosses are basically RNGing with their skills and moves and whatnot. They don't have a set turn interval, so you can't predict what they're going to do next, as they're going to RNG, so you have to be prepared for anything that happens. So the factor of most bosses probably for this game is hope someone You can hope that the boss doesn't use this specific spell, or use that specific spell multiple times. Hope that the boss has a status infliction element, status infliction spell, to which you prior would have gotten Final Guard for everybody so that they are all immune to it, so that they'd end up wasting a turn. And also having to slightly improve your chances by grinding, by increasing your HP pool slightly to hopefully survive the oncoming OP spell attack. Or using those accessories that boost your HP up to 100. You can use 2 of those. But then again, you also kind of want to have Final Guard for immunity of all spells, because Final Guard is basically a ribbon. But yeah, I like this game. Though despite the unfairness of the boss's RNG, or just the added challenge to it that makes it RNG, sure you might get frustrated for the fact that that RNG baloney that might kill you several times. But I just really like how the game worked out. Even though I really didn't understand any of the Japanese, I still kind of like this game. But that's about it for Eastland Saga. I am still not sure about whether Flandrian is an actual thing, like an actual party member, or a boss, or that either was Flandry or Romeo, the face portrait that I found on a Nico Nico Doga speedrun. Whether she's a playable character, a boss you can fight, or that's probably just a frame of Romeo somehow that you have to get through somehow, or that was just the author's intention of having them have a unused face frame. If I figure anything out, that'll be a bonus episode for Eastland Saga. Well, honestly, that's about it. I think this is about all. This is probably the last Let's Play I'm gonna do for a while. So, I'm gonna do other things. I haven't really decided on another game to actually LP anyway, so I'm gonna stop LPing for the moment and focus on other things that are already existing on the channel. And I will finish the OST for this. I just recorded the ending theme right after my first take, noticing it got corrupted. Well, my voice got corrupted. And I have the final boss theme already recorded, and the final dungeon theme already recorded. I need to go back and record the theme that plays when first plays when Reimu meets up with Nidori. And that should be it for the OST, I think. But yeah, that's it for Eastland Saga, unless I figure out about the whole Flandry Romeo thing. I will see you guys next time, and thank you for the very few who decided to watch this. A very small channel at the time. Hopefully glad enough that I entertained you somewhat at least. If I didn't, well, I guess I'm just kind of poopy. See you guys next time on whatever I'll be doing.